Hello and welcome to Saltwire Today for Wednesday, October 26th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Starting today, people 12 or older can book the Pfizer bivalent COVID-19 vaccine. Public Health is recommending Nova Scotians in this age group get the bivalent vaccine because it offers better protection against the Omicron strains. The Moderna version of the bivalent vaccine is also available to those 18 and older. Nova Scotians are being encouraged to choose the first appointment available rather than waiting for a specific brand of vaccine. One man has been charged in relation to a sexual assault that happened yesterday afternoon. Police say just before 1:30, they got a report of a sexual assault that happened a short time earlier in the area of the Belchers Marsh Park Trails. HRP says a man approached a woman who was walking on the trail and touched her in a sexual manner. They were not known to one another. Officers arrested the man a short distance away. A 33-year-old man is expected to appear in Halifax Provincial Court at a later date to face a sexual assault charge. The number of people who have moved to call Canada home has reached almost a quarter of the population. Today, Statistics Canada released its latest set of data covering immigration from the 2021 census, which showed that 23% of the population, around 8.3 million, were or had been a landed immigrant or permanent resident. It's the largest proportion since 1867 and slightly higher than the previous high of 22.8% a century ago in the 1921 census. While most of the immigrants to Canada tend to head for the larger population centers, the share of recent immigrants settling in Atlantic Canada has almost tripled since the 2006 census, from 1.2% to 3.5%. Nova Scotia has the largest share at 1.6%, up from 0.6%. Of the immigrants now living in Halifax, 35.2% have arrived since 2016. Moncton had the highest percentage at 48.4%. There were 71,565 immigrants living in Nova Scotia during last year's census, with 30% of those having arrived since 2016. This weekend, the Halifax Convention Centre will be invaded by aliens, superheroes, artists, and celebrities from the worlds of sci-fi, fantasy, comics, and gaming when HalCon returns to full strength for 2022. Saltwire Network's Stephen Cook talked to one of the organizers for the annual fan-driven gathering to see what attendees can expect.
Don't be surprised if you see Spider-Man and Wonder Woman, or maybe a posse of Transformers on the streets downtown this weekend. The fall season marks the return of HalCon to the Halifax Convention Centre, the all-purpose event bringing fans of sci-fi, fantasy, comics, gaming, and cosplay under one roof for 3 days packed with activities. HalCon organizer and spokesperson Jared Peckham says the volunteer team behind the convention has worked hard to present an event that will appeal to as many fans as possible after COVID postponed it in 2020 and led to a scaled-down East Coast-centric event in 2021.
Our guest team is always outdoing themselves, trying to find great guests to have that are not just well-known, but also which is sort of provide a great experience for our attendees as well. So they're always focused on doing that, and that's no different this year. Really wanted to make sure they were bringing sort of the full capacity back and really taking advantage of the fact that we're going to have a lot of people and sort of having some big names there.
Celebrity panelists this year include Carrie Elways from The Princess Bride and Stranger Things, The House of the Dragon and Outlander star Graham McTavish, Firefly's Summer Glau, and animation voice actor Will Friedle. But that's just the tip of the HalCon iceberg when you consider the comic book artists, science fiction authors, and role-playing game creators that will also be sharing their insight with their fans. And of course, there will be the ever-growing community of cosplay enthusiasts ready to dazzle onlookers with their latest larger-than-life creations.
So I'm sure we'll have more entrants this year than we did last year to be a little bit of a bigger show. We're going to have the big costume contest show on Sunday like we always do. In terms of workshops, like I said, we always have workshops going on over the weekend. Some of our workshops will be on cosplay, so things like how to get into cosplaying, basics of sewing and things like that, as well as, more advanced crafting techniques like using Worbla and foam to be able to create things like armor and that kind of props and such.
If you're ready to get your geek on, HalCon is at the Halifax Convention Centre from Friday through Sunday. Full details are available at hal-con.com. In Halifax, I'm Stephen Cook for the Saltwire Network.
Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
And Cadia is kicking off. Head coach Matt Durant and the Acadia Axewomen rugby side host the Atlantic University Sport Rugby Championship tonight against the UPEI Panthers. Coach, congratulations on getting to the championship game. Please give me a couple of keys for your side to have success tonight against this UPEI team.
I think the number one factor is going to be our ability to stick with our game plan. We have a pretty good sense of what UPI is going to present as far as a challenge, and so if we can manage to stick with our game plan, which is wide and fast and using the whole field, I think we're going to be just fine. The weather is starting to rain a bit now, so it makes it a little harder for our handling, but we're pretty confident that if we can keep the ball in the hands of our back line, we'll do quite well.
Acadia looks to win their first AUS women's rugby title since 2015. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
I believe the final game.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thank you, Kate. Well, there was a tropical-like feel to the air mass once again today here in the Halifax area, but I can tell you a big change is on the horizon following some rain and a cold front, and that rain will move through tonight with periods of rain, at times heavy, and a risk of thunderstorms. Mild, though, with a temperature tonight near 18 degrees. It's a fast-moving system, so the rain tapers off to a chance of showers by Thursday morning, starting the day near 17 degrees, about 20 to 40 millimeters of rain forecast here in the Halifax area, and the winds will be breezy tonight from the southeast at 30 to 50, and then on Thursday morning from the southwest near 20 kilometers per hour, at times gusting up to 40. Gradual clearing, though, as we go through the afternoon on Thursday, the possibility of some late day sunshine, heading up to another mild high of 20 degrees, well above normal for this time of year. But changes coming. A cold front is moving through, so we're back to reality as we head into the upcoming weekend. It will be beautiful, lots of sunshine, but you'll need to grab those sweaters with high temperatures heading into the weekend in the low teens with some chilly overnight lows. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Saltwire Today. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.